Toilet paper has only existed for about 150 years. But humans have been, well, going to the bathroom for a lot longer than that. So for thousands of years, every single person on Earth had to figure out the same awkward problem with whatever they had lying around. And some of their solutions are going to make you very grateful for what's next to your toilet right now. For most of history, the answer was simple and horrifying. Whatever was within reach. Leaves, moss, grass, your hand in some water, sand, even snow if you were brave. Nature was the bathroom, and nature was also the toilet paper. But the ancient Romans had a system. It was called the tersorium, a natural sea sponge stuck on the end of a wooden stick. Civilized, right? Here's the catch. That sponge was shared. Public Roman toilets were long stone benches with rows of holes and no walls, no privacy. You sat next to strangers and chatted, and everyone used the same sponge on a stick, rinsed in a little channel of water between users. One sponge, the whole town. You can imagine how that went for public health. The Greeks went with something harder, pessoi, small stones or pieces of broken pottery. And in a beautiful bit of pettiness, some people used pottery shards scratched with the names of their enemies. Wiping with your rival's name. Ancient trash talk, quite literally. Now, using rocks and rough pottery every day does exactly what you'd expect to the human body. Historians think it likely caused irritation, and worse over time. Comfortable it was not. The actual invention of toilet paper happened in China. They'd invented paper itself over 2,000 years ago, and by around the 6th century, records describe people using paper specifically for the bathroom. By the time of the Ming Dynasty, the imperial court had soft, perfumed toilet paper made in enormous quantities. Emperors were wiping in luxury, while most of the world was still using leaves. Meanwhile, in medieval Europe, they somehow forgot the memo. It was back to hay, straw, moss, and hands. The rich could afford scraps of wool or cloth. Everyone else grabbed a handful of whatever the barn had. Castles had toilets called garderobes, basically a stone seat over a chute that dropped straight down the outside wall into the moat. No paper, no plumbing, and a moat that was not just for defense. Let's move on. Jump to colonial America, and the tool of choice was the corn cob. Dried and, yes, used exactly how you're now imagining. Corn cobs were common and shockingly popular for a long time. Then came a golden age, the mail-order catalog. Families kept the thick Sears catalog in the outhouse and tore out pages. Some even came with a hole pre-punched so you could hang it on a nail. Free, plentiful, and it doubled as reading material. The wealthy always had it better. French royalty used soft wool and lace. And in France, they eventually invented the bidet, a little basin to wash instead of wipe, which much of the world still swears by today. Real commercial toilet paper didn't arrive until 1857, when an American named Joseph Gayetti sold flat sheets with his name printed on every one. Then in 1890, the Scott brothers put it on a roll, and the modern bathroom was born. But here's the detail nobody warns you about. Early toilet paper wasn't smooth. It was so rough that as late as the 1930s, brands proudly advertised their paper as splinter-free, which means, yes, before that, splinters were a known risk. Sit with that one. This isn't just gross trivia. How people cleaned up was a life and death hygiene issue for most of history. Shared sponges and bare hands spread disease through entire communities. Soft, cheap, personal toilet paper is quietly one of the most underrated upgrades in human history. So the next time you reach for the roll without even thinking, remember, you're using a luxury that kings and emperors would have envied, and that 99% of humans who ever lived never had. Leaves, stones, sponges, corn cobs, and a whole lot of hoping for the best. It happened. You just weren't told. If you like the weird true history nobody teaches, subscribe. New one tomorrow. And maybe go thank your toilet paper.